Hello and welcome to another episode. I am Brian, the Unskilled Commander. We got some fun gameplay for you today. This one is basically, I'm calling it Heavy Hitters Match. It's four of my better decks. They're more powerful. They should have a lot more interactions and just some flashier moves, hopefully. So let's get into it. I rolled the dice. Shrines is going first. One of my absolute favorite decks. Going to untap, play a forest for turn, and I will pass. So as you hopefully know by checking out the channel, this channel is all about getting better at Magic the Gathering, both deck building and playing the game, remembering triggers. Hopefully, by watching my mistakes, you can also get better at Magic, and you can see cards that you like that you can put into your decks to make your decks better. And also, the secondary, and possibly the more important aspect of the channel is to get enough subscribers so that here and on the occasional Twitch stream I can raise money for a charity, specifically Extra Life, which I do every year, and have just get some more money going to that particular charity, benefiting my local children's hospital every year. So I appreciate you checking out the video. I hope you subscribe. I hope you stick around and share with your friends, throw some likes around, all that kind of fun stuff. Over here, we're going to untap, upkeep. I will play Tide Channel Pathway. It's just a flip land. You can do either green or blue, depending on what you play it as. This one will be blue for the rest of the game. We're going to pass turn, play a mountain for turn over here, and pass turn. Draw, island, pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw over here. We'll play an island for turn. No 2-drops, regrettably. So I guess I should have explained the decks better, or just what they were. This was Shrines, Landfall, Imodane, Direct Damage, and Mill. So we're going to see which one of these can go off a little bit faster than the others. We will pass turn, however. Untap, upkeep, draw. Play a forest over here. I will go ahead and tap both to play Explore. You may play an additional land this turn, draw a card. So I will play a Rogue's Passage and draw a card. And now we will pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw over here. Play a mountain, tapping both for a Ruby Medallion. Red spells I cast cost 1 less to cast, and that's all we can do. We'll pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw, play a snow-covered island. Nothing to play here. See, the point is, with most of these decks, the key is to get the commanders out as quickly as possible, just to start utilizing their abilities and the synergy of the deck. Looks like Bruvac's not coming out until on par. Imodane will come out a turn early, which is good. Shrines and Aisi look like they're going to come out on turn, so that could be a detriment to them. We'll see. Untap over here, upkeep, draw. We'll play a Plains for turn, tapping all 3 to play a Chromatic Lantern. Help that mana fixing. Specifically because this deck has nothing but basic lands. And the 3 sackets like Terramorphic Expanse, Evolving Wilds, Mirrored Landscape. They're in there to help thin the deck and help the colors if I need them. Reason being, there's a bunch of enchantments in this Shrine Enchantments deck that lock down or damage you based on non-basic lands. And because most people always play non-basic lands in their decks, even if they're monocolored, you'll get a Rogue's Passage. You'll get a Strip Mine, something in even monocolored decks, so that it's going to ping them or, slow them down a little bit, which buys me the time I need to play more Shrines in this side. But that's all we can do. We're going to pass. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. Not ideal. I'm not getting any ramp, and I'm not getting any mana rock, so that's not good. And I didn't draw land. So the only thing I can play are these Lightning Greaves. That'll be nice if I get Icy out, but this is that missing a land drop's very, very bad for this one. We're gonna pass turn, especially considering the general matchup, because we got a lot of direct damage and we got Mill coming. Untap, upkeep, draw. I will play a mountain over here, and then sure enough, tap 3. It costs 1 less to play Imodane, the Pyro Hammer, a 4/4. Whenever an instant or sorcery spell you control that targets only a single creature deals damage to that creature, Imodane deals that much damage to each opponent. So as you can imagine, this is all about spells that specifically target a creature with damage, blast everything that anybody puts down, and then that damage translates into direct damage to the opponents. That's all we can do. We'll pass. Untap, upkeep, draw. I will play the Mirrored Landscape, comes in tapped, and the reason being because Imodane's out. And if I play Bruvac, that's literally the only target she has to hit with something, and they're going to want to start early. So I might as well let someone else play a creature, crack Mirrored Landscape on the next turn, and ramp enough that I can play Bruvac easily play him twice if it does get blown up. So we do not have any 2-drops, so we'll pass. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn, play a mountain. This is awesome, getting all the different lands we need. Okay, so what we're going to do, now again, same logic here. If we play Goshintai, which is what I would like to do, it'll immediately get targeted by Imodane. So instead, we're going to tap a green and a white to play Sterling Grove. Other enchantments you control have Shroud, which means when we do play Goshintai, she can't target it with any of her destruction spells unless she blows up the enchantment first. I still have 3 mana, and yes, we will absolutely tap 3 to play Uphill Battle. Creatures your opponents play come into play tapped, so that helps even more. Pass turn. Untap over here, upkeep, draw. Yes, it's a land at least. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to tap all 4 to play Oracle of Moldaya. It's a 2/2. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. Play with the top card of your library revealed. So I will do that. Unfortunately, it's not a land. And you may play lands from the top of your library. Now, I will then hold priority. And, well, okay, I'll move to equip Lightning Greaves. Nobody has anything that can stop that, but because it's a 0 cost. And so now she has Shroud as well. So that really limits Imodane's ability on what she can attack when things come out. So that's pretty funny in a sense of like, well, here's this great idea. Go ahead, start playing your creatures, guys. I'll start immediately blowing them up. You can't. It's like, Brutevac's like, guys, you're forcing her to attack me, no fair. We're still behind and not going to be able to get Aisi out on turn, but hopefully with Oracle out, we can ideally draw some lands quickly off the top, but that's all we can do. We'll pass. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn, play another mountain over here. Got a lot of good cards, but without any targets to shoot them at, I can't really do anything. That is upsetting. I could attack, and nobody really has any creatures, so we'll do that. We're going to go ahead and move to combat. Obviously, I don't like mill. Nobody does, unfortunately, even though it's fun to play. And it's really not that big of a... I mean, it is if I get, like, there's the combo in there where if I get Bruvac out and I think Maddening Cacophony kicked, it wins the game. But other than that, it's frustrating when you get your cards milled, but just blow up Bruvac. It's just a creature. I think we'll go ahead and swing at you for 4 damage. Actually, sorry, that's commander damage. Pass turn. So hopefully you're enjoying the new upgrades to the channel. The video should be better now where it's no longer the fisheye. The audio should be better so it's more consistent. The only downgrade, of course, is that the Magic the Gathering companion app screwed up the interface or the look of it so that now the life totals are so small you can't see, which is very frustrating. And as I said before, I can try and get another app to do it. I mean, I'm really hoping that they just make the people complain enough, and I guess I should do so as well, that they just, all they have to do is make it bigger. Like, they don't have to change anything about this new interface because it is cool. They just make the numbers within this box bigger. It's more than enough room to do that, and then everything will be fine. But anyway, we're going to untap over here, upkeep, draw. I'll play a snow-covered island and then tap 2 and sacrifice Mirrored Landscape to get 2 islands on the battlefield tapped. I have a couple 1-drops, but really, again, it's not smart to do them without Bruvac out, so we'll pass turn. Untap over here, upkeep, draw, play another island, and because now that they are, in fact, protected, I will tap 4 and play Go Shintai of Life's Origin. It's a 3/4 legendary enchantment creature, so enchantments have Shroud. They can, Imodane cannot target it. Well, nobody can, myself included. You can pay Wooburg and tap it, that's one of each color, white, blue, black, red, and green, to tap it and return a target enchantment from your graveyard to the battlefield. And whenever Go Shintai or any other non-token shrine enters the battlefield, under my control, create a 1/1 colorless shrine enchantment creature token. So both of these are non-targetable. Oh, this is actually tapped. I forgot about that because of that, so she could have gone in there, but it's fine. I think this was still going to be the main target. I have 2 mana left, nothing I can do with that, so we will pass turn. So we're going to untap, upkeep, draw for turn. I'm going to draw this, then this flips. Thankfully, it is a land. So I'm going to play this from the top of my library, and it enters the battlefield tapped, regrettably. And when it enters, you have to bounce an untapped island to your hand, and we might as well, because we can play from the top of the library. So we will play this as the second land for turn off of Oracle Moldai. We have 3 mana open, or 4 open, sorry. Again, I think we're going to go ahead and just pass turn. Now, what Imodane needs to realize and remember is to take advantage of the instants in their hand that do damage, because the second they play Aisi over here, they're going to try and move the equipment over. So in response to the equipping and the process, you tap and blast it before it can get. So we untap, upkeep, draw. It's not a land, however. Oh, we have one. Strip Mine. As I said, monocolored deck, Strip Mine. Strip Mine just says adds 1 color of colorless to your mana pool, but you can tap it and sacrifice Strip Mine to destroy target land. Most people really don't run land destruction. It's really looked down upon in Commander, and I get it, because if you blow up everyone's lands, they can't play the game. They literally can't do anything. So it's not fun. I understand why people are like, but it's a viable option and it's a way to win. You're right, and people can go ahead and play it. No one's going to want to play with you if all of your decks blow up their lands just so you can win. It's okay to put it in some decks. Like, this is one of the only decks I have that have anything that destroys land. I keep thinking about putting them in a deck, and then they come out. And it just seems to be this funny, unspoken thing across the board for all casual and possibly even EDH Commander. You just don't run. Most people don't run any kind of land destruction, or it'll be one little thing like a Strip Mine in a deck, or maybe one spell that does it in addition to something else. So I have 5 mana, and red spells cost 1 less. First of all, we still can't attack anything because nothing is open. We can't, so we're going to go ahead and pass turn. I need to get some artifact destruction over there, or enchantment destruction as well, so that it can get rid of the shields. We're going to untap, upkeep, draw for turn. Play a Terramorphic Expanse I just drew, get a basic on the battlefield tapped. Ooh, interesting. This is something I don't normally do. So let's go ahead and try it. See if we can... It's tricky, it's funny because I'm playing all the decks, so it's hard to say, I'm going to try and trick this other opponent while it's me, so I know what's going on. We're going to tap 3 and play Bruvac. a 1/4 that says if an opponent would mill one or more cards, they mill twice that many instead, and milling simply means taking the top card of your library, putting it directly into your graveyard. So we play that, and we kind of like, what you got, Imodane, you gonna do something about it, because that is literally the only target you can do. And it is tempting, because it's the only one. However, do they want to save it for Ayisi, because that's going to make that, slow that deck down drastically if they blow it up once, because we don't have enough to recast it for at least a turn or two. Whereas leaving the mill up, that's not the best. This is one of the few instances that playing all the decks can be a little anticlimactic in a sense that because I literally know what's going on and for all the decks, even though I always forget what's in the hands and such, I still understand that they're definitely going to wait and blow something up. So I don't want to be like, oh, I'm not going to fall for that. Yes, you would. It's like, I don't think I would. I think because plus that's Ayisi is a 5/5. This is a 1/4. It's easier to blow. I have more cards in it. I can blow this up. I want to save the mana to blow that up at instant speed before they put the Lightning Greaves onto their very important commander. Whereas you don't have anything that's protecting Brewvac. So I think we're going to let that slide. We're not going to do anything. I could play some mill spells. However, and again, true, whenever they do attack and blow up Ayisi, that's going to hurt everyone else. So I could wait, because the whole point is I have a counterspell in my hand, which I almost never play, I almost never keep in decks, but I have 2 open mana. I can literally use the counterspell properly to stop Imodane. But I would rather wait until she tries to blow up Brewvac to do it and let her blow up other people's stuff, and yeah, I'll take some damage. So we're going to go ahead and pass. And 2 open blue mana is a clear giveaway of what's in their hand. Anybody that's played Magic for a little while knows, well, crap, you probably have a counterspell, literal counterspell, or you're bluffing that you have a counterspell. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. Well, this is just, apparently Shrines wants to win. They don't want Imodane to do anything. We're going to tap this for black, this for blue. I mean, all my lands tap for anything I want because of Chromatic Lantern, but we'll just do it like this. To play Zur Eternal Schemer. It's a 1/4, flying. Enchantment creatures you control have Death Touch, Lifelink, and Hexproof. Haha. Now, he doesn't have Hexproof, though. And I can pay 1 and a white, and non-aura enchantment you control becomes a creature in addition to its other types and has base power and toughness equal to its converted mana cost, which I just used that on a stream to win the game with Shrines a couple days ago. So it's a very, very powerful card. But like I said, I forgot he doesn't have Hexproof, so now he is very much a target. And I also, over here, I have a Swords to Plowshare in my hand. Do we want to try and take out I think, well, again, there's no guarantee that Shrines understands that Imodane is waiting to blast Ayisi. Because my thought process was, oh, I can wait and let them blow up Ayisi, set that deck back even further than it already is, then blow up Imodane, and I only have to worry about mill. However, I don't know that this character is aware of that or smart enough for that, and I don't want to give myself too much information from the other hands, basically. And honestly, putting the Swords to Plowshares on Brewvac might be a good choice at some point. So we've given them an extra target now. They've got 2 targets that Imodane could blow up. I can go to combat with a 3/4, and enchantment creatures have Death Touch and Lifelink, which is really good. Imodane's a 4/4, that's a 2/2, and you've got a 1/4. I'm going to swing Go Shintai at you. You'll block, which is fine, nothing dies. Oh, wait, yeah, if you block, it does have Death Touch, so you're probably not going to block. So you're going to take 3. Oops, I keep forgetting it's commander. So you're taking 3 commander damage, but I'm going to gain 3 life because of the lifelink. Pass turn. That Zur card is extremely powerful in the Shrines deck. Very, very powerful. Untap, upkeep, draw. We draw this, then we flip. Okay, good card, but not a land. So I'm going to play an island for turn. Wait, do I want to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Here's the thing. We've got clearly mana for counterspell. We've got all the mana open for a blast spell, but we can't just sit here and never play the commander and let Shrines win. So we're going to go for it. We're going to tap 6 to play Ayisi of the Gyre Strait. You know, nothing from Brewvac. They're not going to counter that. So okay, I'm going to move to equip this onto Ayisi. In response to you moving to equip that, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Red spells cost 1 less, so that makes 6 to play Light Up the Night. Light Up the Night deals X damage to any target. It deals X damage plus 1 instead if that target is a creature or a planeswalker. So as I said, it's going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess we should do it visually like this. So it costs 1 red, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 costs 1 less, so 5, and it's targeting a creature, so 6. It's going to deal 6 damage to Ayisi. I don't believe, they could stop it, and they will take 6 damage off of it, but I think everyone likes the idea of, it's like, no, you guys are jerks. So that blasts that. It now costs 2 more to cast, and because it dealt damage, Imodane's going to see that 6 damage and deal it to each opponent. It's not commander damage because it's not in combat, unfortunately. That is all we can do there. That was that was over here, sorry. So then I'll still play the island just because, and then re-equip this onto her. I don't have anything I can do with 1 mana. We're going to have to pass. So now here comes some stuff. We're going to untap all of this, upkeep, and then we're going to do everyone's favorite red card, which costs 1 less. So I'm going to tap 2, Jeskai's Will. We're going to target them because they have full grip. So does they have 7 cards. So does Mill. Now does Mill want to counter that? Because they're going to get 7 mana and exile the top 3 cards of their library. 7, 8, 9, 10, and red spells cost less. So they're going to be able to fire off quite a few spells. Although, there's only 2 targets for said spells, one of which being Bruvak. I think this is the smart time to do it. We're going to tap 2 in response and counterspell. You're not getting Jeskai's Will with all that mana and doing all that stuff. They're like, dang it, I saw that mana up. So now I only have 3 mana open. Okay, but thankfully because you did that, you just became my enemy. We're going to tap 2 because it costs 1 less. Fateful End. Fateful End deals 3 damage to any target, and I scry 1. We're going to deal 3 damage to Bruvak. Scry 1. I'm going to leave that there. And then I'm going to tap 1 and play Lightning Strike. It's going to deal 3 damage to Bruvak. So first of all, 3 damage was done, so everyone's going to take 3 damage. Then Lightning Strike is going to deal another 3 damage. I'm not 100% sure on the details of this. The literal Lightning Strike is going to deal 3 damage to Bruvak, but he only has 1 toughness at this point. So does that mean everybody takes 1 damage or everyone takes 3? Because it's dealing 3 damage. There's excess damage being dealt to it. So I believe, I want to say that Imodane's going to see the 3. Because what's the point of dealing, what's the point of firing off 5 damage at a 2-drop or a 2/2? And obviously you don't do that if that's the way it is. But I just don't see, that doesn't make sense to me. Because if it was lifelink, if I was swinging 3 damage and it blocked, I would get 3 life. Even though only 1 damage was needed to finish it off. So I want to say that it's going to hit the full 3. That's going to go to the command zone, going to cost 2 more to cast, and then everyone's going to take another 3. Man, why can't Imodane do this good whenever I'm playing against real people? Untap, upkeep, draw for turn, play a snow-covered island, which we totally need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to recast Bruvak. Then I'm going to cast some spells. Now, do we want to be spiteful and just go after... I mean, you have done quite a bit of damage to everyone. I don't think it's spiteful at all. I think it's logical. I'm going to tap 1 to play Stream of Thought. Target player puts the top 4 cards of the library into their graveyard. I shuffle up to 4 cards from my graveyard into my library. So why not? I'll just shuffle all... Do I even want to waste the spots putting the Terramorphic? Nah, I guess we should. We'll just put the counterspell back in and shuffle. Point is, you're going to mill 8 cards. There were some really good cards in there. And then I will tap another white and play Dream Twist. Target player, you puts the top 3 cards of their library into their graveyard, so you're going to mill 6. That hits some decent cards across all of those. Now, here's one of the reasons why I say mill is overly attacked. Yeah, that was great. I just milled somebody for, 14 cards. Awesome. I milled 1 person for 14 cards. There are cards in here that say each opponent mills a certain amounts, and like I said, there is the card in there that can kill everybody as long as Bruvak's on the field when it plays. So yes, but the majority of these mill cards are just targeting a person. So not only do I have to have a lot of open mana, I also have to have a lot of card draw, which I don't think I've built this. I need to reevaluate all of my decks, as I've said in prior videos, and upgrade the lands, or the draw spells rather, so that I'm constantly playing these mill cards, or else it's not going to win. People, yeah, you can mill out like 1, maybe 2 people in a game, but to win the game with mill is difficult. But nobody wants to hear that. All they want to say is, "Oh, you're going to get rid of my favorite cards, so I'm going to attack you first and kill you first." It's like, okay, whatever. It seems like somewhat unnecessary hate, but we're going to go ahead and pass turn, untap, draw, play another plains, which is cool. We're only missing swamps in here, and unfortunately, I'm not getting any other shrines or enchantments, which that's part of the bad stuff. I mean, there's really no point in playing any of these. I can do that. That's true, but nobody's really open, and my thought process is I can use Zur's ability to animate these 2 enchantments to make them creatures. They'd be a 3/3 and a 2/2. However, while they would have Death Touch and Lifelink, oh shoot, creatures come in tapped, so actually this comes in tapped. Not that affects Bruvak's ability or anything. It's just, it should have. I don't want these enchantments destroyed. Yeah, Sterling Grove does have an ability that I can go search for a specific enchantment, and there is a good one I can go get, but it puts the card on top of the library, so I can do that at instant speed at their end turn maybe if I want to try and do that. But then that means these 2 are now vulnerable to Imodane, although Imodane's doing just fine so far. But yeah, that's all we can do. We're going to go ahead and pass. No, I guess I should. No, they're at 25. They're the lowest life. There's no point going at them. because they're definitely going to continue to fixate on Imodane, because that's the logical choice, because they have such high life total and everything. So we're going to pass. Untap, upkeep, draw, flip it over. It is land, which is good. So I will play the land from the top of the library for turn, and excellent. And I will play a second land from top of the library, because I can play 2. That is fantastic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then commander tax. So I guess I should have waited to do that. I should have done the math. I got too excited and did it too early. And unfortunately, one of the real problems is I would have to discard down a card. So at this point, do we really care about, not that we don't care about IEC, but I think we should probably try and get some other things, because IEC will then just be another target for Imodane. So let's go 1, 2, 3, and play Scoot Swarm. A 1/1 with Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, make a 1/1 green insect token. But if you control 6 or more lands, create a token that's a copy of Scoot Swarm instead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. So now, when playing lands, I'll make more Scoot Swarms, which immediately make more Scoot Swarms, etc. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to play Rampaging Balos. So you 6/6 with Trample. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may make a 4/4 green beast creature token. I think I'm actually going to... Oops, this has to be revealed. I mean, that is helping. I want to move this over to Rampaging Balos, honestly, because making 4/4s is way better. Not way better than making Scoot Swarms, because you get enough of them. The numbers, the 1/1s matter, but I do like being able to play the extra land from the library. I can play extra lands on each of my turns, but this is the only reason I'm able to dump them quickly. But everyone's tapped out, so I think now is definitely the time to do it. So we're going to move to equip this over here. And then I'm going to... Oh, I forgot Zur was flying, but he's a 1/4. There was no point in attacking with that. Not going to attack with a 2/2 as well, so we're going to pass. Untap over here, upkeep, draw. Play a really gorgeous command tower. Going to play 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for a Gilded Lotus. Tap it to add 3 mana of any one color. But we're going to pass. The reason being is I have a really giant spell in my hand, X spell, so I can dump all of the mana into it, blast one thing, and do a ton of damage to everybody. So we're going to untap, upkeep, draw for turn. That's a cool card. Let's go and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Platinum Angel. A flying 4/4. You can't lose the game, and your opponents can't win the game. Imodane can absolutely just target Platinum Angel. It's nothing stopping it, but it's a nice little thing where it's like, well, for the next couple turns, until someone can creature destroy Platinum Angel, I can't lose. We're going to go ahead and pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw over here. Actually, hang on. Do I want to do that, though? I think we do. I think we're going to go ahead and tap 1, sacrifice Sterling Grove at your end step to go get an enchantment and put it on the card. Put it on top of the library, and then it'd be funny if I went and got like a soul ring. What are you doing? Okay, so search for library enchantment card, reveal it. I'm going to reveal Sanctum of All. I shuffled, and then I put it on top. Now I move to my turn, untap, upkeep, draw it for turn, and then just tap 5, which counts as one of each because of Chromatic Lantern, to play Sanctum of All. At the beginning of my upkeep, I may search for my library for and a graveyard for a shrine card. Put it in the battlefield. If you search your library this way, shuffle it. If an ability of another shrine you control triggers while you control 6 or more shrines, that ability triggers an additional time. That's like the big money card for this deck. Not money in terms of value, but money in terms of like actual play value. So that is a shrine. So that means I make another shrine token. However, the only thing left to protect all of these enchantments is Zur. So I'm going to go ahead and tap 1 to Swords to Plowshares your Imodane. Control gains life equal to its power. Really, I mean, they can respond with an instant and do 3 damage to something. It's not going to work. It's not going to kill Zur, which is the only thing that would make sense. In response to me targeting Imodane with Swords to Plowshares, I'm going to tap all 4. They cost 1 less, so that means X is going to be 3. So 2 mana, and then X being 3. Volcanic Geyser deals X damage to any target. We're going to do 3 damage to Scoot Swarm, and everyone's going to take 3 damage. Then Imodane's going to get exiled. She costs 2 more to cast, and I gain 4 life. Alright. I also like that this game has a bunch of interactions like this. This is fun. You don't normally see this in my decks or my games, so it's just fun that, oh yeah, I'm going to stop this. I'm going to counter that. I'm going to do this while you're countering. But okay, that's everything we can do over here. You are open, actually, so we can go to combat. And you're at 44 life. So I'm going to just swing just the commander and then pass turn. I could swing out, but then that would leave me open to everybody else, and that's not a good idea. So, okay, over here, we're going to untap. We're going to upkeep. Oh, this is no longer revealed. I draw it, and I will go ahead and play... Wait a second. Yes, I will play a land for turn. I make a 4/4 beast. And now, wait a second, let's do the math. All right, I have enough to do this. This is really cool. It's not an instant win, but it is something crazy. And it's one of the only, like, combos in... Well, actually, it's not. It's just another combo in this this deck. So what I'm going to do is tap 1, 2, 3, 4 and play Ivy Lane Denizen. He's a 2/3. Whenever another green creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. You may know this. Actually, you may know this combo if you've watched my shorts with combos and tips, because it's in there. This is where I got it from and decided to use it. Then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to play Herd Baloth. It is a 4/4. When one or more +1/+1 counters are put on Herd Baloth, create a 4/4 green beast token. So no one has any open mana to stop this. So what that means is Herd Baloth now enters the battlefield. Ivy Lane Denizen sees it and puts a +1/+1 counter on it because it's entering the battlefield. So it is a choice to target. Cool. Well, Herd Baloth just got a +1/+1 counter put on it. So that means I make a 4/4 beast token. So I have 2 of those. However, a green creature just entered the battlefield. So now Ivy Lane Denizen's going to be like, hey, I'm going to put a counter on something. I'm going to put another counter on Herd Baloth. Make another beast. Another counter. Beast, counter, blah, 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 blah. I now have infinite counters and beasts. So we can just say something crazy. So I now have 1 million counters on Herd Baloth and 1 million 4/4 green beast tokens. However, they don't have haste. A simple board wipe would take care of this, no problem. And technically I have 1,000,001 beasts because there was already one on the field. Pretty awesome, right? I'm going to move to combat, swing with the Rampaging Baloth. It's a 6/6. I'm going to swing it at you, and then just pass turn and hope nobody gets a board wipe. So we're going to go ahead and pass. Untap, upkeep, draw over here. Tap for 3. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but it costs 1 less, so we need 5. So 3, 4, 5. To recast Imodane, not that it's going to matter too much. However, Platinum Angel's out, so nobody can win and they can't lose. So unless, and they can just choose not to block with flying unless, and I don't know, that's interesting. So it comes down to the fact that, do I have an instant can do anything? Do I want to be that kind of jerk? Because here's my thought process, right? I have 2 blast. I actually have a draw spell and a blast spell. The blast spell can do 5 damage, which is enough to kill Platinum Angel, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it can kill Bruvak, Platinum Angel, and we don't know what Bruvak might draw. They could get Maddening Cacophony and kick it and win the game right there. But blasting anything over here isn't going to help. Especially, okay, cool, I get rid of the Herd Baloth so we can't make more of them. I still have 1,000,000 4/4s to deal with. I can blow up the Zur, but that's it. Everything else over there is untouchable because enchantments are hexproof, and the point is all it would do is deal 5 damage to everybody, so it's not going to kill anybody, it's not going to win the game. But I could be a jerk, just sit on it, wait for them to go to attacks, in response to them declaring attack, instant speed kill Platinum Angel so we all just lose. That seems overly spiteful and like a really jerk move to do, because well, you know what, this is king making is what this is, and I've said it before, king making just means your choice, whatever you do is going to let someone else specific win the game. So, and it's a choice between 2 people or whatever, but you're making the person win. So if I do that, if I blow up Platinum Angel, that I'm king making Landfall. I'm letting them win. If I don't, then most likely I'm letting Bruvak win because now will be dead. They can focus every single mill card onto Landfall. And unless Landfall hits a creature removal spell, mill will win. And there's nothing, I mean, it doesn't matter how many times they swing in with 1,000,000, with 4 million damage. It doesn't matter because Platinum Angel says they can't lose, can't win. Which it's really hilarious because when I first played it, I'm like, it's nothing. They have a targeted destruction spell. We have destruction. It's not going to matter. Now that this is going off, well, I'm not going to play it. I'm going to sit on it. I'm going to pass turn, but I'm not entirely sure what I want to do just yet. And I said I have a destruction spell, target non-land permanent over here in Shrines, so it's the exact same choice for them. So we're going to untap, upkeep, draw for turn. Okay, well there, I guess that answers it. Going to tap 3 to play Fractured Sanity. Each opponent mills 14 cards, which means each opponent is going to mill 28 cards. No one can stop that. Well, technically I could cast Morality Spear over here onto Bruvak to stop the doubling. They'll just recast Bruvak again later, not overly. Shrines was doing real great, but after that it's like, well, Shrines is like, I got nothing, I can't do anything. Oh, that's true. I forgot, all of these did come in tapped. Because of uphill battle, it's fine. They weren't going to attack anyway, and the tapping doesn't affect the combo. So they're kind of defenseless. They just have a 2/2. Honestly, you know what? I don't even care because Sanctum of All and Goshintai let me get things from the graveyard onto the battlefield enchantments. So I'd actually be okay with milling a bunch. So we're gonna let it go. Now they could always do the destruction spell on Bruvak to stop the milling. I don't think they care at this point either. Okay, so like I said, obviously that's a really good card for this deck and does hit all opponents for 28 cards. That's impressive. But that's, again, that is one out of a handful that hits everybody for such a decent amount of damage. I'm not going to be... The whole point is I have cancel in my hand. Pay 3, counter target spell. So I'm going to absolutely sit on that for whenever someone tries to get rid of Platinum Angel so that I can win the game. I will, however, move to combat and swing. Who's got the most? Actually, you've got the most life. I mean, it doesn't matter when there's a million creatures coming out. So at that, like, do I bother? I guess we'll do. Yeah, swing at you. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they'll be like, why are you hitting me? Hit him. It's not going to hurt him. And I'm just making it easier for them to win. Sort of. We're going to pass turn. Untap over here. I do have an upkeep trigger. I get to go get Shrine. I'm going to search for and get Sanctum of the Stonefangs. When that enters, I make another Shrine. At the beginning of my pre-combat main phase, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life where X is the number of shrines you control. I'm not going to change the game much, but that's what the game is. That's what the thing is supposed to do. So I will move to my beginning of my pre-combat main phase now because that was on upkeep. 3, 4, 5, 6. So everyone's gonna lose 6, and I'm gonna gain 6. Now I draw for turn. Oh, guys, we got ourselves a game here. So I'm gonna go ahead and tap 5, Wooburg, and tap Goshintai to activate its ability. Get a target enchantment from your graveyard onto the battlefield. I'm gonna go get Sphere of Safety. How's that? Suck on that, million creatures. Because creatures can't attack me or planeswalkers I control unless their controller pays X for each of those creatures, where X is the number of enchantments you control. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they have to pay 8 mana per creature to attack me. Darn it, I was kind of excited to think that Landfall was going to win off of that so easily, but you kind of know it's like if it's not going to be if it's not going to be a board wipe, it's going to be something like that. I do have a 1/4 flyer that I will in fact send at you for 1 damage because why not? 2 mana left. Actually, I have 3 mana left. So if that's the case, then we will go ahead and tap 3 to play Sanctum of Fruitful Harvest. The beginning of my pre-combat main phase, add X mana of any one color where X is the number of shrines I control. Shrine came in, makes another shrine. So that means 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now they have to pay 10 mana per creature to attack me. That million creatures isn't getting through. However, I did forget, the Baloth is a million, but it's not trampling. Actually, it's 1,000,004, whatever. So 1/1 Shrine can totally chump block it. So we basically, these two decks have essentially neutered this incredibly good win right there, which is sad, but whatever. We're going to pass turn. Landfall is getting all sad. Like, no, guys, I had it. Why do you have to take everything fun from me? Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have just enough mana to attack with 1 creature against you. That is hilarious. I have 3 really good creatures in here that make more creatures, but again, it's not going to help against that. So I guess I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10 to replay Aisi. I don't have any lands to play, unfortunately, which is really bad. Oh, what am I saying? Oh my gosh. I'm supposed to have this. I thought, for some idiotic reason, I was thinking that the haste, the Shroud thing was giving the top of the library. That's so dumb, but that's fine. So speaking of which, I will move to equip onto Aisi this time, and then I can play a land from my hand, from the top of the library, thanks to Oracle of Maldai. So then I draw a card. Well, first of all, reveal it, draw it, reveal it. Obviously, we make more beasts, and they get more counters. We're not going to bother with it right now. And that would, of course, just perpetuate. Okay, now it's 2 million, because we can make it as many times as we want once that starts. I then play the second land for turn, thanks to Oracle of Maldai. Cool. I draw a card, though, and flip this, and then that's a 3 on Dynamo. So then I will play a third land off of the additional land from Aisi, draw a card, flip it. But that's it. That's all I can play. So I have 3 lands. I'm going to tap a green to play this Helix Pinnacle just because it's a funny card to have in here. It has Shroud. You pay X and put X counters on it. And if Helix Pinnacle has 100 or more counters on it, you win the game. But I can't win because of that thing. Okay, so we're going to move to combat because it would be stupid not to. I'm going to swing 1,000,000 beasts at you two. So 500,000 beasts at each of you. Poor little Imodane has nothing they can do. And again, we're still at that king-making section because I can still blow up instant speed Platinum Angel so that we die, and then now Shrines will probably win because he can't attack with more than 1 creature at best, and they're going to be pinging for a lot of damage off of the Shrines and gaining life. So it's like, I hate to do that. I mean, because I also don't want to be the only person that loses. That's kind of bold. Oh, and also, which is funny, which Stalker Frenzy is what I have. It costs 1 less to cast for each creature that attacked this turn, so it now costs 1,000,000 less. So I only have to tap a red for it. Screw it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to tap red, play Witch Stalker Frenzy targeting Platinum Angel. It's going to deal 5 damage to it in response to you declaring attackers. Platinum Angel is going to die. We're each going to get hit by 500,000, 4 4s, and kaboosh, we are the Gons. And Mill is now bitching out Imodane's player extremely hard, and it's like, what are you doing? You just gave gave it to Shrines. I could have done something. It's like, yeah, well, you know what? If I'm not going to win, who do I care? What do I care? I don't want to die alone. You're taking it. Pass turn. Yeah, so what would you do in that situation? I would love to hear in the comments how you guys would have reacted if you were Imodane. Would you have just gone out and be like, fine, whatever, and let the three of them duke it out? Or would you have done that to just be like, I'm taking somebody with me because it's funny and I want to? I mean, it's technically it's not that funny. It's kind of a jerk move, but well, it is a jerk move for sure. So, but yeah, let me know what you think. So we're gonna untap Upkeep trigger, and we can do this from graveyard or library. Okay, I'm getting Go Shintai of Ancient Wars onto the battlefield. It says as first strike, it's 2/2. At the beginning of my end step, you may pay 1. When you do, Go Shintai of Ancient Wars deals X damage to target player or planeswalker, where X is the number of shrines you control. Shrine came in, get an extra 1. And Sanctum of All's second ability is live because I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 shrines. So as long as I have 7 or more, shrine abilities trigger twice. So we're going to move to our pre-combat main phase. Each opponent's going to lose 10 life, and I'm going to gain 10 life. But that triggers twice. What did I just say? So yeah, I gain another 10, and you lose. Down to -2. Boom! Yeah, Imodane absolutely king-mate with that one. Let Shrines win. But there you go. I really appreciate you checking out the channel and watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you saw some cool cards, and I will see you next time.